there is pretty similar bans across the board. I do have to note that Hoya's Varus is up. It's alive. Something that we could see. Probably not first pick.
No. But now Gordo Weibo can take it away from him. What have they done?
They sure can. I mean, listen, Elk's Varus is decent. Zika's Varus, I don't know if it exists.
Yeah, so this is what actually they should do, is they should take the Seraphine away from the Xin Zhao, because Ashe Seraphine Xin Zhao is a really scary combo. With the Lulu banned, Karma's banned, no Nami, no Milio, what do you actually play into this bot lane?
Yeah, it's tough. Yeah,
Zeri Yumi?
The Karma
I'm a
being
fan.
banned makes it real tough. I mean, you can play Ezreal something else, I suppose. You can play, like, Ezreal Rakan or something, and at least try to stay at your distance. But yeah, it's definitely tough. The other thing you can do is you can just play like Mel mid, and then it's a big threat later on. Oh, or you can just lock in Nautilus and say we're gonna try to fight you.
This has pretty much been the only support that isn't a mage or an enchanter that's getting picked or prioritized in the draft at all. And not only that, but some Jinx action potentially on the corner. This is complete psychotic if they go Draven Nautilus.
My guess would be Misfortune.
No, no, don't do it, no!
Oh, no. See, he has not gone above 40% win rate since we last cast together, has he, Jbetto?
No, I don't think so, but that is lore accurate. Maybe he needs a 44% win rate to truly take off.
Well, but he's not getting there. He's got to start winning some games. He's got to get those numbers up because he's way below 44% win rate right now. I don't know. No win rate is low enough for people to stop picking the Jhin, I suppose. Is Zika going to go for the Renekton here? So we will have mismatched jungle and top lane.
I'm not a fan. I think that this draft from Weibo is great. I mean, you've got jungle choices, right? You've got like a Wukong. You've got things like the Trundle that haven't been... I know Alk is a massive fan of the Trundle. We've been talking about it on cast a couple of times. It's really good into Xin Zhao, pretty good into Nautilus as well. Could be an option, but you just ban tops here, right? You ban the Nar, maybe ban the Jace if you're worried about that. Could be other things like an Ornn. I think Yorick is okay for Renekton, so I don't think you have to ban that, although that has been rising in priority a lot. But for NIP, like, you have to salvage this. You need something strong in mid. You need something strong in top because the Xin Zhao is great, but you've lost the Enchanter Xin Zhao style that people have been really happy with recently, been really playing a lot. You've got Nautilus into the Ashe Seraphine, which is really hard, but can find all-ins. And you've got Jhin with it. And now Mel's banned, like you mentioned before, so you don't even have that really nice reflect potential onto the Ashe Seraphine. So I think you're running out of options here that are really strong into top lane, into this bot lane.
Yeah, the Mel ban does come on through, by the way, so that's no longer going to be an option for Care. And I did check Jhin top leagues globally for 2026, 39.2% win rate right now. So we will see if Assum can do his part to try to get those numbers up, because those are not very good numbers. But now a chance to select either a jungler to play against the Xin Zhao or a blind mid laner. I suggest it is the former. No way this is an Olaf jungle angle, no? Is it an Olaf jungle angle for
I guess it is. Okay, well, unless he last stops. Okay, so good 1v1 into Xin Zhao. I can't be knocked away, can't be knocked up, but it's great into the Nautilus and the Jhin. He just presses R and runs at you.
Hoya Varus!
He's right.
Hoya Varus, it's here. God. It's time.
No, this is Jhin top. Guys, this is Jhin top, Varus bot lane, actually. I'm not a fan. I mean, I know it's good, but like, this comp is, again, we are front to backing, we are CCing the first target, and we are killing them. The Azir is okay. It's great front to back damage. It can look for roads like we've seen many times before, but I think Weibo's comp has so many options. They have global pressure with the Ashe ult, with the Talia ult. They have really good 2v2 in mid and top with the jungle influencing it. They have a strong pushing bot lane. They have good dragon fights. They have good team fighting. They have good mid game with the Renekton, Olaf, Ashe. For NIP's draft, like, I feel like it's so one note. We are ceasing the first target. Varus needs to get a lead. We have to live through bot. If there's any situation where any of these lanes get behind, I think the game is instantly really hard to play.
Yeah, and also the CCing one target, that target obviously cannot be Olaf. So
yeah,
Jiejie making it even a little bit more difficult there. Definitely has that strong 1 versus 1 into the Jhin, like you were just bringing up. I think it's an awesome Seraphine combo too. Like, it feels silly to call it a combo because Seraphine ult combos with champions that run forward, but Olaf is one of those, and Seraphine ult does combo with champions that run forward.
Well, I think NIP have a pretty hard time ahead of them. They need to lane really well. They need to find their fight potential, find their fight opportunities, their fight windows really effectively. I think it's going to come down to a lot of their execution. But for Weibo, their draft is really solid. They've shown really good team fighting in the last game. I think that this game is stacked against NIP.
Yeah, I'm not very fond of the draft either here. The Azir still powerful. Let's see what it can do.
I'll tell you what, Gordo, I feel like after first stand, I feel like there's more people in the crowds chanting in LPL games. I can't prove that, but it does just feel like it.
It could also be that we were just doing like group Nirvana games a lot in split number 1, Jbetto, but I do agree though. It's definitely, I feel like the Gios are louder for sure. As Elk, Hong, Assum, and Zhuo are going to start the violence early, and Elk and Hong are going to walk out on top, as well as having the superior sustain. NIP off to a rough start in the bottom lane.
Yeah, I think the idea from NIP is just not too bad. You know, they need to find an all-in early, otherwise the lane's going to be really hard anyway. But then they don't find it. They take the negative HP trade, and Weibo still have the wave priority. So, I mean, at least Hoya can say, guys, it's okay. Click top with your camera. Look top, guys. But other than that, not starting too great. Talia pushing against Care. Bot lane CS is already looking really, really tough. But it's okay, guys. Varus top.
Varus top is the best hope that NIP have going for them here. It is a solid matchup. It is one that Hoya is very competent on. He was the one who really brought this pick into the forefront. He was the one picking it the most frequently. He's the one still drawing bans on it. And he's going to need to prove why here as part of, the big power for group ascent. But there goes the first blood for Elk. Zhuo going to be able to flash in, make the trade. It's a solo kill. Assum doesn't even get his name on it.
Yeah. Man, that is tough. I mean, it feels somewhat fine for Zhuo. He gets a kill, sure, but like, look at that gold lead already. 600 gold lead for Elk in 2.5 minutes. He denies the wave. He gets the solo kill. I think that Assum needed to base with Zhuo. Zhuo based really early after taking the worst end of the trades, and then Assum decided to stay, and then obviously gets killed. I mean, good news. Elk has no flash. Olaf, cover, please. Zinzao, help me kill Ashe. But other than that, I don't think it's another rough start for NIP.
Yeah, and I mean, this wave is pushing on in. Jiejie has worked his way behind enemy lines. He's going to get spotted on the wave, but guess who doesn't have flash? His name is Zhuo, and Jiejie going right towards him. Root going to come on through, flash away from the deadly flourish. Elk gets handed a second kill. Weibo off to the races in the bottom lane.
Really well played, and Jiejie is aware he needs to cover, first of all, to make sure that this Ashe with no flash doesn't get either dove or just ganked in general, but then realizes, hey, enemy jungler is not here, he's topside, so why don't we flank around? Really nice pathing, and priority onto the Nautilus as well, like you mentioned, no flash, so easy kill, doesn't overextend for the kill, and Elk gets it as well. So we're still in the fighting a HUD here. I hope we can get back to the gold, because Elk is getting close to like a 1k lead. It won't be too long before he's there.
What do the LPL showrunners know? What combat is about to take place? All right, we're back. As it does look like it's a 900 gold lead to the likes of Elk. That is, oof, that is rough.
Yeah, I mean, Ashe, not the greatest scaler, but Ashe getting early items means that it's so much harder to fight against. So the slow, if she goes boots for the attack speed as well, like tons of options. And I appreciate NIP continuing to go for these attempts, but just running you down.
It's kind of the only course of action you really have available to you. Like Zhuo, hex flashing from bush to try to hit dredge lines. What else does this champion do in this lane? Jbetto, it's not really much else to speak of. And
we can speak of Hoya top, Varus top, guys. 500 gold lead. A Virtualize from the bot lane situation that now has reached 1,000 gold as Assum takes another base. And look top.
Yeah, no, I mean, the NIP fans, yeah, look top. That's a fine strategy for you. Zhuo, I guess you could look top too, might as well.
Yeah, exactly. That's what I'm saying.
Definitely
not
going to turn this bot lane
laner
situation around.
Well, not spotted by this ward. Okay, he will be now. So Guwon thought he maybe could look for a gank, but instead it'll be just the dragon. Jiejie going for the top crab. This will give the level 2 smite, and he'll level up to 6. So if he was fast enough, he could run down here with smite advantage and ult and take the dragon, but not going to. So with his newly forged level 6 and upgraded smite, and the roam from Xiaohu here, Varus top might not be a safe place to look anymore.
Maybe not. Interestingly, that's a tunneler on Hoya, so maybe this isn't the traditional AP Varus top. But enough about that. As Zika flashing in, getting a combo off for Xiaohu. Hoya going to flash underneath the turret, though, and Jiejie takes 2 shots on the way in. Already feels like he doesn't want to take any more. Hoya survives the 1v3 turret dive.
He lives those. All right. +1 for an IP. Dive survived. He does have no flash, no exhaust. Hang on.
Getting on in here onto Hong. Guwon arrives to the scene to help out, picks himself up a kill, and provides a little bit of relief for Assum and Zhuo in the bottom lane.
I am fully on the roller coaster, Gordo. I'm not going to lie. Completely, like, we're going up, and then top dive fails. Hong gets caught by hook with flash up. I'm plummeting back down, and I'm getting a bit dizzy.
Me as well, but Weibo, listen, we watched game number 1. They can take us back up. They can take us back up at any time.
They're definitely still driving. I will say, both of those decisions were made by Weibo.
Yes. And so far, that has been the story of this series. Hong coming on in with another decision. An attempted shuffle for Care short. Does not find its way onto Xiaohu, and Care's out of mana.
That was a decision. You are right. That was a decision. I wish he hadn't decided to do that, as it does go short. Would it have killed Xiaohu with flash? Probably not, but would have gotten his flash. That would have been nice. I will say, Hoya down the flash and exhaust, sorry. An option to look back top when this Olaf feels ready. But Grubs again, started by Guwon, already has the first dragon, so NIP's macro much better on the objective front. On the build though, this is definitely the experimental hexplate. It could go... Oh, hang on.
Oh, Xiaohu returning to the scene of the crime, trying to make the combo happen, seeing if they can finish the job this time. Hoya nowhere to go without that flash. Tries to return damage onto Zika.
Okay.
He will drop down, but Guwon makes the trade. It is a 1-4-1, and that Xin Zhao gets himself another kill.
It's not too bad. I was really worried. There's a timeline in which Elk and the bot, Hung didn't die. Elk maintained his 1k lead. The dive in top worked, and NIP are down a lot of gold. But that hasn't really happened. NIP have been able to pull back off of the mistakes from Weibo, the unforced errors that Weibo have been making. So we're in a position where NIP have the objectives. We're turning this.
Back here, depth charge connects onto Elk. Assum gets some opportunities to fire away. Does get rooted right back up though, and Elk spacing out the deadly flourish very nicely. Zhuo and Assum falling further and further behind in this Elk bar exchange. And once again, they find themselves on the back foot. They are so low now. They got to start thinking about resetting. That cost them both their combat summoners too. Yeah,
Hung was 2 minions away from level 6 in that fight, and he gets it at the end. If he was level 6 in that fight, or if he ticked over during the fight, both of NIP's bot lane were dead. Hoya, can he sniff this out? The wave is pushing away from him. How long is Jiejie willing to sit here? No flash on this virus, no exhaust on this virus. He can sit at a massive range. Does lose the cannon. Probably will have to lose the rest of this wave too. We're going back to take a look at this. This is a really nice ult from Xiaohu. Catches virus off guard. I'm pretty sure the Q got cancelled there, but Guwon ends up, you know, flash ER. Just misses the W there on Xiaohu. Maybe could have found a kill. Hoya doesn't end up dying. Jiejie went back to clearing. But I will say, for NIP, the game state has stabilized a lot since the beginning of the game because we were not in a great, comfortable position. Jin has boots. Ash hasn't gotten that first item just yet. If 40 seconds can go by, NIP can get this next strike before Ash hits that, you know, Kraken Slayer. NIP are in a really good spot.
NIP with some control in and around mid here. Hong trying to defend these birds as in goes Guwon, but is he going to regret it? Encore comes on across him and he's getting beat down by the Olaf. Ragnarok keeps the fight alive, and that is going to be a kill going the way of Weibo.
I really don't quite understand what Guwon's looking for. Maybe if the hook had hit Seraphine and they had one-shotted the Seraphine, maybe the look on Hong was the idea there. But again, Dragon's up now. You have priority. You have positions around the Drake. You see where enemy jungler is. Support is there too, which means that Awesome is fine in the lane to just clear. So Elk is not going to be able to force a 1v1 kill or rotate over really quickly. And Guwon just goes really early. I also don't particularly understand why Weibo didn't do the Drake, but they didn't. And if NIP get the Drake, then my point is completely moot.
Well, we'll find out. They are going to start it on off. Poked with the wind becomes lightning by Guwon. Jiejie coming on in does not have the Ragnarok, notably, so he's in a little bit of a worse spot here. Can be CC'd by this Nautilus, can be jumped by Guwon. Xinjiao can be one-shot with help from the curtain call, and Assum gets himself back on the board.
All right. The roller coaster is still going. And I am pretty sure that we're going down now. But NIP, after all that, they end up getting the second Drake. They get a kill on the Jiejie. This gold lead on Ash is lowering and lowering. And it's Infernal Soul, and they have 2 Drakes.
Buns is still down. Buns is still down, but so is Enchanted Crystal Arrow, so Assum will continue to walk this one out, will survive it, but is going to give up some alone time with this turret.
Does the damage from Enchanted Crystal Arrow kill? And Jin's on 200 health. He's basically in the bush.
We're going to find out. Well, definitely not if it doesn't hit. Oh, wait a second. It's going to hit on the recall, but Hong interrupted the recall. I don't think it would have killed anyway.
That would have been really cool, though. Imagine if it did.
I think it was time for it. He fired that thing right at the fountain. I think that might have been the goal.
Yeah, I think you're right. I think the idea was to go for the recall, but Hung says, if I can get the kill, the gold is mine. Ash will be able to pick up a couple more waves, and the gold lead builds very quickly again, back up to 1.4k this time. It's the biggest lead we've seen in this game. But Virus Top is doing okay. Has the first item completed, has the movement speed boots, has that free teleport, and NIP have 2 Drakes. So it's time here for Jin to... This is Stormrazor. A lot of discussion about the Jin builds. What is actually the correct build for Jin to go? Awesome, we'll start with the Stormrazor this game.
Might as well.
Nice hook try.
Worth a shot. Spider-Man's his way in through the mid lane here, and Care pushing in towards the bottom lane. Zika probably not really in dive range at this stage of the game. The experimental Hexblade completed for both Jiejie and Hoya this game. And will give him that little bit of extra power on the Olaf when trying to run down one of these squishy targets, and he has got plenty of options available to him.
All right, well, the game has slowed down a ton since the early skirmishing. The lanes are very stable across the board. I think that NIP in the side lanes are favored with Azir and with this Varus. The Varus is very pickable, so Hoya has to play a little bit scared in the top lane, and Guwon might be getting invaded here.
Yeah, there's a chance. Oh. Guwon tries to flash away, does not escape the arrow, and here come Weibo descending on top of him. Back in the lead are Weibo Gaming, and they're going to turn this into a Rift Herald before long if they want it.
Okay, well, Guwon's smiling in the play cam, so he knows that was a bit six-pack. Flashes into the arrow instead of over the wall or to the side, but still, it's okay. Like you mentioned, might be a Herald take in 10 seconds. Just some camps lost. Flash and ult down for Guwon. It's okay. Care's getting some time alone in the side lane, able to pick up probably this full tier 1 tower, so that'll be first brick as well. Very nice. Cross map at least from NIP. That was going to happen regardless, but well played from NIP, at least to get that. Guwon, be careful with your flashes. Enemies are around.
Can't sleep here. There are enemies nearby. Jiejie going to begin that Rift Herald. Care did pick up first circle to the bottom side, so Care gets paid off of this extended play. Pretty much equalizes the gold lead that was created
67%.
off that pick on Guwon. But they will indeed have, I'm not going to acknowledge that, indeed they will get the Rift Herald. It will give them the ability to be able to take down this mid turret come next objective. It is about a minute to go until Infernal Drake #1, and Weibo do have to start thinking about denying these Drakes from NIP.
Yep. First items coming through from everybody now, so just waiting on Zhuo's. I assume... Actually, is this Bandle Pipes? I think it might be Bandle Pipes. Let's have a look. He's basing here. It would make most sense to me. I don't think anything else is the option, although I'm not familiar. Oh, it's Chem. Oh, okay. I'm not too familiar with the Bandle Pipes build path, but I guess this makes sense. They're a little more selfish. Does allow for some survivability, sorry. But first items across the board, like I was mentioning, are finished. Is Awesome going second item collector, Storm Razor collector? Is this the build, or is it going to be something else? Is it like a Serpent's Fang second? I don't know if I like either of those options, to be honest, Gordo.
I really hope it's not Serpent's Fang. I think Collector is probably the right read, but we will have to wait and see. This next dragon spawning up here, and first to the scene are Weibo. They have gotten the memo that they need to be protecting. Interestingly enough, Xiaohu still hasn't finished his quest. He's the only one on the map that hasn't done so, so no enhanced boots for him quite yet. Oh, wait,
Alright, nice little ult here from Hoya.
Blank Chains of Corruption. Zika loses a lot. And now nowhere near being able to TP into the fray, but Guwon is, of course, on that side of the map.
Guys.
Here's a flash encore onto Care, but he does manage to get away and stay alive. Zhuo taking the majority of the damage, but he'll survive as well thanks to the Protoplasm Harness. And NIP successfully get away. They get the top side turret. They force back Zika. And no start on the Dragon here because Weibo realized that they don't want to give up too much in mid.
Yeah, I guess Protoplasm Harness was the correct item. But I think that was really disrespectful from NIP. Guwon is top. Looking for a play onto Zika, and Care had flash for the encore. I think it went through the wall, so maybe he didn't see it, but still very lucky that no one of NIP died there. They do end up giving over the Drake, which is fine. You're waiting on some more items. You're waiting on some scaling to come through from this Varus, from this Azir, and it will be this very awkward build from Hoya. It's the experimental hex play. Nice dodge there on the Chains of Corruption. And then he's going Dusk and Dawn second. So, very uncomfortable build, I guess. Like later on, this will feel really nice, but the Dusk and Dawn build path is pretty abysmal. So, at least until that happens, it's going to be a little lacking.
I don't like this. I don't like these kinds of builds, dude. This always upsets me. I want people to build items for one class of champion. I feel like every time we start mixing and matching like this, it's going to make everybody upset.
It is a class. It's the Varus class. He is in a class of his own.
Oh, boy. Yeah, I suppose he is. Hoya performing pretty well on what is quickly becoming a signature champion of his. He does have himself about
is that a good thing or a bad
individual
thing?
Gold lead.
like, do you want your signature champion to be Varus top? Is it like something that you're like happy with, or is it like begrudgingly I'm the Varus top guy?
I think he could. There's a world that exists where he is not a Varus top guy. I think that was fully in his control, so I think he has to embrace it, right? What else can you do?
Yeah, I feel like there is a world, though, in which his team is like, come on, Hoya, play the Varus top, you're really good at it. And he's like, guys.
There's no way that somebody not named Hoya, like, discovered this. Oh, wait, there's a fight breaking on out. It's going to be Hong getting one shot, but does get the encore up in time. It's on to Guwon, and the rest of the team going to be able to work through his health bar. Awesome. Getting dove on, too, by Zika. Zika gets pushed back by the Emperor's Divide, still manages to make it a trade, but it's a double kill to Assum. And down goes another to the curtain call. Care going to be the one who picks up that credit. Elk doing his best to be able to kite this one out, will stay alive, but NIP go up in the trade.
Hoya actually played that fight really well and has a really big gold lead. This tower will for sure go down. Good ult from Care as well. Guwon bought some good time. Good team fighting from NIP. It only buys...
Care looking for more, gets on the Elk. Care cashes out a second kill.
Wow, I did not think Care was in range to go for that. Elk has flash and barrier. What are you doing?
Oh,
anyway,
man.
Back to the fight. Nice hook from Zhuo to start this engage. Also, Zhuo later on will hook the Azir wall to get himself out, to try and get himself out. Good tech here, but Guwon just buys time in the backline there. The rest of the fight is happening. Big overextend from Zika. Is this a Baron start? I'm completely distracted. The rest of this fight was really well played by the carries, but NIP are on Baron at 20 minutes.
Yeah, Baron taking lots of damage from NIP. Zika working his way up here. Here comes Jiejie on the flank. Can he flash in there for the steal? It's dropping too fast. Baron to NIP. But what about the fight afterwards? Zhuo been picked off by Xiaohu. And here comes Jiejie on the flank. Gets the undertow on across two. Looking to be able to chase further. Hoya getting slowed up. Zika not chasing onto him though. And NIP staying hand in hand using the buddy system. Look like they're going to be able to get away. Xiaohu looking to cut him off if he finds the opportunity, but the rest of the team not quite ready for him. Tries to shuffle it back, cannot find a target, and NIP are out of there.
That was, yes, we are so, it is so jovial. Well, how is this happening,
so
guys?
over.
A random T-fight in mid leads to a big gold swing in favor of NIP, and now they get the Baron a minute before their soul point spawns. NIP in such a great spot. With the tier 1 still available, oh boy, thank you LPL. That is an LPL gold grab if I've ever seen one. The tier 1 in top still being up, that outer turret, means that Zhuo sacrifices himself, sure, but the long chase is impossible because the tower is in the way. Xiaohu just picked up Rabadons. He's very strong. 2 items across the board for Weibo. Waiting on a second item from Zhuo, but still, 2 items across the board in the most part for NIP. But crucially, this Baron is going to be up the entire time until this dragon is available. And it's Infernal Soul with an Azir. It is Serpent's Fang's second, by the way, from Awesome. Just want to note that.
Yeah, absolutely here. Oh, man. I mean, next dragon coming on up here in about 15 seconds. And Weibo need to piece themselves together. A favorable team fight again. Hong getting caught up so early in that fight cost them quite a bit. Let's see if they can execute a higher level this time around. Zhuo looking around on the flank, not going to be able to find his target. Xiaohu getting called up from the bottom. And denying NIP soul point, still the primary objective. Weaver's Wall does not get done what they hoped for. It does not cut off any members.
Yeah, that's kind of... it's just gone, actually. What? They toggled vision for a moment. Zika's behind. I don't know if NIP can get out here.
He's going for it, flashing in on Assum, going to be able to get that cleanse out first and foremost. Encore comes through, only finds its way onto Guwon, but Guwon will drop. Zika out of health, forced to retreat back away from the fight, but it's still a 5 versus 4, and there's no clear escape route yet available for NIP. They fall back into the bot lane outer turret, and it will be enough to get them the recall, but mid left completely undefended.
Yeah, another outer turret saves NIP after an objective secure. Guwon gets completely one-shot before he can get his ult off. Just doesn't have flash, so got caught by the encore there. And CC chain into death. But that's soul point for NIP. Really well played. Xiaohu, something that has been a topic of conversation about this player is his Talia walls are not good. And another one that is not good. Completely wasted before the fight. So you can see Zika is trying to buy time. It's actually the Ashe ult, sorry, that gets caught first. Then the Encore, then the knock-up. Insta-killed here. Really well played onto Guwon. Really nice ult there from Elk. I was watching Zika on the top side. I didn't see the Enchanted Crystal Arrow, but really well played from Weibo to take down Guwon. But NIP a little bit saved by another outer turret.
Jbetto, I gotta tell you, it was Serpent's Fang, Jin, by the way. It is the Serpent's Fang. We are here to reduce Seraphine's shielding.
Yes. We hate shielding.
Oh, boy. All right, well.
All my homies hate shielding, in fact. Everyone buys Serpent's Fang. Awesome did it in the LPL. You tell your ranked teammates, you know this guy Awesome? He's the GOAT. He makes Jin look remotely somewhat playable. And he builds Stormrazor, Serpent's Fang into Eva LDR.
He goes down 1,700 gold. Don't forget that part.
But he's got 3 kills.
He does.
I mean, his, CS, gold. He's got kills, all right? His CS score is... But his CC score now, that might be decent.
It could be good. It could be at least acceptable. Siege coming in on this bottom lane outer turret. Weibo looking to claim a little bit of standing gold, and does look like they should be able to without issue. Care cannot step up and defend this with his current resources. So that will fall. Meanwhile, Hoya unanswered in the top side, shoving the wave into the inner. Baron up in about 90 seconds. That's going to be the next objective to battle over. But some calm on the Rift in the meantime, as this one looking to be another close game.
Are Weibo still in the driver's seat? Are they still piloting? That Xiaohu ult was a choice that Weibo made.
It was.
But I feel like NIP are getting some wiggle room. They're kind of...
No.
they're making plays.
This is NIP making a decision for sure. There's going to be curtain call flashing from Care. Gets Elk in there, and the first kill of the fight will be Elk before he gets anything done. Jiejie forced to flash defensively, and this is right before the Baron spawns. NIP, they make a decision, and they make it a great one.
Really nice curtain call from Awesome just to start with the slows. The TP in from Care finds the shuffle, and the Encore just completely misses. NIP playing these team fights super well. Really coordinated, very snappy. Like we were saying, NIP making decisions of their own. I think they tried to do it in game 1. They went into position 2. Now, Weibo, do you walk in? Do you face check? With this triple threat comp from NIP, the Baron melts.
Jiejie does not have Ragnarok. He cannot get in here for the life of him with Zhuo up in his face. They are going to try to look to claim a free Zhuo for their efforts. Enchanted Crystal Arrow connects, going to be holding Hoya still for a very long time, and Zika going to look to capitalize. The shuffle back in will be a second kill to Weibo. 2 kills for the Baron is the exchange.
Yep, good ult there from Elk. You can see that Hoya had flash available. He was really trying to get to the wall, but the CC chain from Weibo, well executed. But Baron, again, 30 seconds before this dragon. I assume... I'll have to wait and see, because I don't want to over-assume here. He does have it. So Hoya does have the TP, the free TP. Literally perfect. He's going to respawn. I don't think that Weibo can set up good enough positions around this objective in the time they have against Baron without sacrificing something else. So, whether it's wards, whether it's bot push. Look at the bot wave right now. Not in a great spot at all. Here comes a TP from Zika. This will be on vision. NIP will see this. They'll see the ball fly across the map. So they know that the Crocodile is behind them. The Darkin is about to join them, I assume, in mid lane as well. Oh, the Dragon's just gone, actually. So NIP give it. Instead, looking for a bit more gold.
Yeah, they're just going to choose to sacrifice the mid-inner to make sure that they get this dragon, that they can deny the soul. What about the inhibitor turret, though? Can they stop that one? Here comes Xiaohu throwing down the wall.
About this wall.
Enchanted Crystal Arrow comes on across, lands onto Assum. Assum will cleanse it away as soon as it arrives. Will claim a summoner spell for that one, and Zhuo a little bit cut off. Zika going to find him. Deadly Flourish to try to peel off their Nautilus a little bit. Care gets snagged by Xiaohu, and in comes the follow-up CC. Ragnarok is thrown down.
No!
Hung flashes for the encore, but times it wrong, and Care does not get hit. Now Xiaohu gonna fall down in the follow-up fight. Hung going to join him. Curtain Call opened up to chase down the remaining stragglers, and Weibo mis-execute and don't get a single kill.
Yeah, a massive mistake from Hung there. Well, small in execution, but massive in terms of the impact of this game. You needed to be able to one-shot Care there. The Zhonya's broken, the arm guard broken, the R-flash mistimed, and Care gets away. Not a single member of NIP dies after that, and now the mid-inhibitor is broken. NIP, with the remaining 40 seconds of this Baron, could choose to go for some more plates, maybe this tier 2 tower, but instead, they'll just base. Now, crucially, Gordo, if you look at the objective timers, the Baron and the Dragon are synced up completely, but we'll take a look back here. Zhuo finds Zika, and Xiaohu really nice. This is blind, by the way, onto Care here, but Hung, eyes on this Seraphino, times it just slightly. He's able to dash through, and that's kind of it. If Care had died there, maybe you could do something, but even still, I don't think that the fight is that great.
Yeah. Immediate Ragnarok on in. Jiejie has to basically waste that ability, immediately backing away from the threat of Guwon, and Hoya doesn't have the power to be able to run them down, and as you said, not the best fight in the world. Got a 2K gold swing there. NIP find themselves back in the lead gold-wise. And Weibo struggling in this game number 2 to pull the game back after they gave it away the first time. Jiejie seeing Zhuo on the face check. Zhuo going to start the fight off. They're going to pop the Ragnarok, look for the fight. Care gets snagged by the Enchanted Crystal Arrow, but the follow-up is not there. Zika can't close the gap in time. Curtain Call opened up to try to slow up the stragglers and see if they can find anything. Hung gets snagged by the 4th shot, nearly killed by it, but does manage to escape.
This Jin doesn't even have Infinity Edge yet, so when that happens, that is a kill. Okay, no purple shield for Xiaohu. But these Ash arrows have actually been finding a ton of value. The first one where Awesome has to body block it and cleanse it because no one else can stand to body block it. There's no Mikhails, there's no spell shield, no one can actually for sure stand there and take the full, Ash stun duration. And then this one stuns Care. Weibo are not able to get there in time, but still a really nice arrow that stops the engage from NIP. Gotta be a bit scared, though, of that curtain call damage. So here we are, Gordo. 1:30 on both objectives. It's soul for NIP. They could give it for the Baron, but then Weibo are looking at the back of a 4 Infernal Drake Infernal Soul on the next dragon. You need to end the game on that Baron, or then you're risking that terrifying position. So what is NIP's game plan? They have the priority with this mid inhibitor down. The super minions are pushing in. Ash Arrow hits Hoya. Oh, nice Sonya's.
Crystal Arrow not going to be quite able to land thanks to a really well-placed stasis, and follow-up CC from Hong can't land either. These carries able to escape some well-placed Enchanted Crystal Arrows from Elk, either due to timing, positioning, or the help of their teammates, or that critical summoner cleanse, whatever it ends up being. NIP stay alive once again and are able to retreat back away after their push.
All right, so NIP are basing now. Where they come out on the map is going to tell us a lot about where they want to play. What objective do they value more? The answer should realistically be Infernal Soul. I don't know if Weibo against this comp can end with the Baron. That's the trade. Infernal Soul, long-term power, shorter, it's weaker, up against the short-term power of the Baron. Weibo might have to give the Soul here just to get the Baron and maybe play for an end, but, play for an Elder even after that. NIP have complete control. 10 seconds until both objectives have spawned. NIP, maybe just a little bit of vision around the Baron, maybe a Baron threatened, or this is really smart from NIP. They're doing both.
Yeah, Care going to start up that Dragon on the bottom side. Weibo starting off the Baron. NIP are in position to be able to contest, and Care going to pull off the Dragon. Decides that this is a Baron fight. They're not going to make this exchange. They don't want the trade. Weaver's Wall comes out across to split up the team, but they are not doing the Baron nearly fast enough. Care going to get snagged by Zika, but the follow-up damage from Xiaohu can't connect. Guwon flashing onto Hung. Will be able to finish off that first kill. Elk is knocked up. Elk is focused down. Elk drops, and it's a 2 for 0 so far already for NIP. Curtain call opened up, going to push out Xiaohu on the opposite side. Zika looking for Hoya, but Hoya advancing forward. He's got one target in his eyes, and his name is Xiaohu. It's a triple to Guwon. Hoya finishes off the mid laner. Ace to NIP, and game number 2 going their way as well.
All right, it's not the cleanest way mechanically to end this game, Gordo, but they get it done. They don't want to play Macro anymore. We are fighting, and NIP take the game. Game 3. Holy. I knew this was going to be inhibitor spawn. It's fine. It's fine. Surely it's fine. Is there enough time? We've got respawns coming through. 10 seconds on Elk. I think it's done. Okay.
It is.
A little bit of stress, but it's fine.
Kong cannot make the hero play, and game number 2 will go to NIP. We're going to game number 3 to kick off the night, Jbetto. And Weibo continue to show the inconsistency that we've been talking about all night. What a good performance from NIP, though, to be able to lock that game down. They get their opportunity back in despite an abysmal start in the bottom lane, and they do not let it go.
Jin got to win. Let's go.
Oh, yeah.
Awesome gets the win on the
That might get you
Jin.
about 40%.
I'm not going to do math on cast like that, but I'll take your word for it. Yeah, really good game from NIP. The Dragon taking a massive change up from how they played in game 1. They prioritized the Dragon. They played really well around this, like the skirmishes. And I was concerned with this comp. I really didn't. I wasn't a huge fan of it, but I think they played super well. Hoya being left alone for that much of the game is a little bit criminal. They tried one dive on him, it didn't work, and he was allowed to just free farm the rest of the game. Got to a great position, never really was in a position to get dove, and then NIP just fishing for hooks, playing for these Chains of Corruption, playing for the Deadly Flourish. Really well played team fight wise by NIP.
Yeah, it felt like not really able to capitalize on having a significantly ahead Olaf, right? Like Jiejie never got to really have an Olaf fantasy team fight where he just gets to sprint forward, encore at his back, and run through the enemy team, take down a carry, maybe a carry and a half before they're able to work through his health bar. Feels like into the Jin especially, that should be something that's very much in the cards for you, but whether it be their Seraphine getting picked off at the start of the fight or just the positioning not quite working out the way they wanted to with the start-off picks, never really played out that way.
And we're kind of joking around about this whole, driving thing, but it did really feel like Weibo was in control of game 1. The mistakes that they made, like you were saying, they were unforced errors. Weibo made the choices. They made the mistakes. NIP, for the first time in this series, really feels as though they took the upper hand in terms of the tempo vibes. It felt like they were driving for the second half of that game, and they didn't really let go of the pedal there once they put their foot down. Really well played by NIP. MVP is a tough call, though. I think Hoya played really well. I think Care played really well. I think Guwon played really well. I think Zhuo played really well. I mean, maybe you could just give an MVP to Awesome for getting a win on a Jin. It's a tough call.
It is a tough call. I mean, I think you gotta give it to Hoya, right? Like, I think the fact that Hoya was able to get so ahead, the fact that the Renekton was a basic non-factor, lots of credit in him in my book. And
yeah,
my Varus GOAT does it again, man. This guy, we talked about it before, we're talking about it again. He's been drawing Varus bans. No team in the LPL gets Varus banned against them as frequently as NIP does. And this damage chart
is what a gold graph. I think there's an argument to be made for Care. A lot of the fights really well played from him. You can see a lot of the time Azir players will fish too aggressively for that shuffle, for that road, and end up just kind of running the team fight down, dying. I think that Care played really well, did good damage, but I'm with you. I think that the Varus looked great. Not the prettiest KDA, other than if your name is Care this game, but doesn't particularly matter. Hoya played really well. A lot of the fights dictated by the chins of corruption, by the damage the virus can output. The build was very interesting. I didn't actually check until just then what it really ended up being, and it was Experimental Hexplate, Dusk and Dawn, Zhonya's QSS. That is a surviving virus. That's a very hard to kill virus.
It is, and he was hard to kill. They made some attempts in certain fights, but you'll see that never ends up working out for him, and able to continue to output damage in basically all situations.
Chins of Corruption here to zone away while they deal with the Croc. Really well played team fight. We didn't get to talk about this one a ton because Baron was started immediately after this team fight was done. Infernal Soul, not even taken during this game. I think NIP's willingness to, we are stronger, guys. Let's fight. Weibo aren't allowed to fight here. If they go Baron, we'll just fight them on it. That kind of decision-making, that fast snapping decision-making is what wins you games like this. This is another situation where NIP fully in the driver's seat. We're TPing on top of them, actively looking with these chains of corruptions, with the curtain call, really well played.
Yeah.
This one, this hurt.
And when you have fights starting off with the Varus sprinting at your Olaf and him being forced to Ragnarok defensively to try to get out of there, like, these are just not... This is not how you really drew up this team composition to function, and it's really where you end up not being able to get much done. Instead, they're hunting for these picks, and eventually there's just so many tools available to be able to get on away. The missed Encore there, of course, a big factor as well, but you talked about the QSS on the Varus, talked about the Cleanse being available on the Jhin, the Stasis is on the Azir. There were lots of ways to be able to deal with these Enchanted Crystal Arrows and stop getting picked, and when they couldn't make these picks happen, when they got stalled out, like you see Care doing on the bottom here, the fights just went poorly. I
could definitely see a Care. That was I didn't see that part of the fight. I was looking at the top side. That was so well played. Zhonya's, okay, ignore that part. Don't look at that. He gets stunned by the Croc. Zhonya's is the knock up, the shove from Talia, and then ults Renekton back over the wall to buy so much time. So two members of Weibo are looking at Care, and then he still lives through it. NIP obviously happy. I mean, this is the team that a lot of people would have said on paper is not winning a match. Maybe against WE, but they're not beating any other Group Ascend teams, and have put up a good fight against IG, and are putting up a really good fight against Weibo right now.
Yeah, at very least more individual game wins than one would have expected for them to have through 3 matches. And a chance to go up to 2-1 here if they are able to take down Weibo. Weibo, they got their first win of the split in game number 1, but NIP are not going to give it to them that easily. And with how close games 1 and 2 have been, I think we're in for a banger game number 3 here before long. Does look like it is going to be Care walking away with the MVP for game number 2.
Yeah, I think some of the impact in the team fights was, it can be unfelt. Oftentimes you see, mid laners getting MVP votes when maybe they shouldn't. Their team completely set up for them. They just clicked their buttons. I don't think this is one of those cases. Again, I think an argument could be made for Hoya. I'm with you on that, but Care ends up winning it here. First MVP for him this split so far. So really great job from NIP. They need to stay focused though. There's one more game for, for us, for them. We get to watch and have a lot of fun there, but that was a creative draft and approach. A lot of the Enchanter bot lanes are gone, though.
Yeah, going to be some interesting bot lane matchups here, and what has been very interesting bot lane matchup throughout the entire night. So stay tuned. We're going to find out after a quick break as we get into game number 3. NIP taking on WBG for all the marbles.